Good morning, everybody. My name is Amy Delaney. I am a current drama teacher for 7th and 8th grade with a little bit of 6th grade general music sprinkled in just for fun. I also direct and produce our middle school spring musical, and this year I'm adding a fall play into the mix for December. So this reading has been very relevant for me, and I've taken a lot of different things out of it. I think one of the biggest things that these 4 chapters have done is to really deepen my understanding of the directorial process. Oftentimes I'm so thick in the middle of it all that I kind of forget to look at the process that we're going through to get to the place that we eventually want to be. And there's so many different things happening with kids' emotions, illnesses, every play or musical, somebody breaks a bone. So I'm in the middle of, usually about 8 different crises. So being able to go back and truly break apart the different pieces of the directorial process were very helpful. The first part, the vision, I think that's the place where I always obviously start, when I read a play or a musical and it invokes some kind of feeling or emotion in me, I start to develop that vision. For our fall play, I've decided on Trap by Stephen Gregg, because when I read it the first time, I had this level of excitement and jaw-dropping, reaction at the end, and it just resonated, and I felt like it was perfect for the mix of students that we have. It had a lot of parts in it. It's shorter. For the middle school, it's about 40 minutes long, so it kind of fits within our time frame and what we have to work with, and that's kind of what I was looking at. Also, in keeping in line with why we pick plays, I think our audience in general, will really enjoy this what's happening, psychological, supernatural type thriller. So I think that suspense will keep the audience going for that entertainment purpose. And I do feel like it's something that my students can really grow into, as we talk about how it's our job as directors to really watch everybody in the production process grow and change over time. And I think that this affords them that. There's lots of rich roles as far as the detective. The protagonist is definitely somebody who comes into her or his own. It could be either gender, which is really nice. And then it really kind of keeps everybody guessing, even the actors. So I'm really excited for them to be up for that challenge. I think one of the other things that I took away really from this reading was I always start at the beginning, right? Let's start at the very beginning. It's a very good place to start. And I think that's because I've always classically done musicals. We've never done a straight play in the middle school level. We always start with that big production number. It's got big production value. We're going to put a lot of time and energy into it. And what I really took away from this reading was the exposition, while important for all that background information and, to set up who the characters are and what was happening before the action, that's all important, but we can't forget about what eventually brings us through the conflict, the rising actions into that climax. And then the places where we start to wrap it up are more important, mostly, than creating that big beginning. I still think it's very important to create a big beginning for musicals, but I think as far as a straight play, I would look more to developing those meatier rising actions, conflicts, and really kind of putting more emphasis on tying up those loose ends before I even conquer the beginning and the exposition. So I really took that away. And certainly the collaboration process. One of the things that I'm really hoping to do in growing this middle school drama program, because it is very new. We just started it 2 years ago. I started teaching it this past school year, is to really develop the collaborative process with my students, so that it's not just directors, and adults talking at you. It's all of us collaborating with each other. So I really took that away, that, making students crew heads, having them really have a say in the design of the show, the direction of the show, and all of that is hugely important, because what also resonated with me in this these first chapters is that as a director, it is the most gratifying part of our job, at least my job, for me, to see these students grow and develop and come into themselves and put on this absolutely amazing spectacle at the end of it all, and to feel so good about themselves and to shed tears that it's over, and all, out of all the hard work that they've done, that really resonated with me too. I think also one of the other things that I appreciated was breaking down scenes into the units. Normally I tackle scene at a time, but to even break down the scenes even further, I think is something that I can really grow in as a director. So I'm already having the wheels turning in my head about how we're going to schedule things out, kind of doing blocks of units, and really focusing in specifically on those for our fall play, certainly, and then our spring musical, which is The Descendants, which we're also super excited about. So I'm looking forward to hearing all the rest of your discussions. I've loved reading all of the discussion pieces so far. It really helps to have a group of colleagues to get ideas from and to kind of see the workings of your brains as well. I hope that everybody's had a wonderful weekend, and happy 4th of July, everybody. Take good care.